tell me who you are and where we are and what we're doing here.
My name is Sophocles Plokamakis. We're at Halsey's Tavern in Astoria, Queens, New York. And for 16 days, I've been drawing and painting this mural at Halsey's Tavern. And it's been an adventure with curbside canvas. And thank you, Bill, for helping me do this and realize a dream that I've had for a very long time.
What's the dream?
The dream was to paint the mural outside so that people can start to see my artwork. And my larger dream now that I've done one is to do many in Astoria as well as possibly in New York City as well.
So how did you hear about the project?
I heard about the project because Bill, the founder of Curbside Canvas, called me because my wife and I have a business called Start Shows, and we make art exhibitions in New York City galleries. And the one that we were doing at the time was called Art is the Cure at One Art Space Gallery. And we collaborated, and there was an art walk with many murals and curbside canvas in the Tribeca area in New York City. And we collaborated, and some of the artists that made the murals at the time were also in the show. And it was just a really great collaboration. And then I decided I wanted to get involved with the project.
So tell me about the specific mural.
This mural was really interesting because when I approached Halsey's, I thought that they were going to go for something different, but they asked me to make many scenes of Astoria, to make it because they have a clientele that loves Astoria, they're locals, and they love where they live, so they wanted to have like hotspots or recognizable areas of Astoria. But they also have the sister restaurant Mom's has an Instagram called Dogs of Mom's Astoria, so I decided that I would include some dog walkers. And some of the dogs are dogs that I know. Like this one is a dog I knew that passed away recently named Reno. He's a golden lab. I knew him for like 3 or 4 years before he passed away, and he was like the sweetest dog. He was a grandpa dog. And on the other side, I'll show you later, there's my future dog, I want a pug, and I make a cameo in the mural as well.
So take us through the different landmarks that you've painted.
Okay, so this is Silver Cup Studios. It's a pretty recognizable thing that you'll see if you cross over the 59th Street Bridge. And, you know, it's a movie studio that's pretty big. And everyone knows it if you cross over that bridge in Astoria, from Astoria to New York City. And it was a lot of fun. On this side, I started with this panel. And it wasn't as vibrant at first because I used a thinner marker. But then I put a second or third coat of paint. And the red really pops now. And it was a very tedious one to draw because of all the fine line work. I used a ruler with 3/4 on the back to make sure that the paint doesn't leak under it. And I used Posca pens to get this effect. And some white paint with brushes to make the thin panels. And I had the idea of the concept to make comic art on a mural. That's why there's panels that you'll see in the rest of the mural. So it's like one unique story that tells a story of people walking their dogs or traveling through Astoria, and they see these sights. That's the whole concept of this mural.
Take us through.
This one is Socrates Sculpture Park, and people in Astoria know this park. It's very beautiful, it has a view of the city, very green, and they alternate sculptures that are there. And I used Posca pens for it and some paint with brushes, and I wanted to capture some of the detail of the sculptures and use some dots with the Posca pens to show that it's rock. At least I think that's what it was from the photograph image that I used. And also some line work to show that there's cracks and there's details on it. And the concept for a lot of these murals was to go with the color scheme of Halsey's, which is black and white, but I suggested that we use some spot color so it really pops and it looks more vibrant and pretty for all the Astoria locals in the neighborhood.
Cool.
This one is a special panel to my heart. It has Astoria Park, and I dedicated it to my wife Thais right here, and she's my partner in Start Shows, which I mentioned earlier. And this image was based off of an image I took a little while ago when we were first dating in Astoria Park, and we took a walk, and then we painted a painting together in acrylic. And I made that painting first, and then I based this image off of that image. This one is far less colorful than the one that we originally made, but I wanted to keep true to the vision that we both had, the Halsey's team and me, for this project. But I wanted to link the red color of the bridge, the Hell's Gate Bridge, with my wife's red lipstick and red nail polish, which she often wears. And then I thought of last minute I put a blue moon. It was white originally because I thought that would be a cool color to link other panels that you'll see later.
Okay.
So this image is the Piano Factory, which I have never actually been to, but one of the owners of Halsey's wanted me to paint this, and I thought it was a beautiful building. It has this glorious clock tower, and this was a tricky panel to do because of this bump that's on this outdoor seating, and it kind of separates the two spots. But I think I made it work, and I used a really thick Posca marker to make these thick white lines, but then I also got a lot of texture, and I went with many coats of paint, and I dabbed at it with a small brush to make it feel like leaves on trees. My love of the subway shows here, as you'll see in my subway shirt. I drew in the subway for many years, making comics and doing figure studies and drawing things that just uniquely fascinated me in the subway, like animals when they popped in. So I wanted to draw an N-train subway, and I currently reside in Ditmars, Astoria. So I wanted to use one of the Ditmars train kind of crossing the tracks, the N-train, and going towards the city. And I found a great image for it, and I thought it was good. And I wanted to link up this yellow N-train logo with a yellow sun in the top, so that it pops more, and it's not just a small little amount of color. And this one was a more minimalist one with color-wise, but there was lots of line work. It wasn't an easy panel to do, but I think it came out pretty good. This one is the most colorful out of all the panels on this side, and probably all the images in general in this mural. It's Kaufman Astoria Studios, and at first when I made this image, it wasn't as detailed. There weren't like defined people. There were just like some sketchy little characters that were all facing the opposite way. But I thought, why not make it more interesting and add some character to it? So then I just like drew these on the fly, and I didn't design them first. I just drew them like freehand in there so that I can just add more character to the piece. And I thought I would balance all the other colors that you see in these panels and from the other side of the mural in this panel, so it links the whole thing together.
And then who's this behind you?
This behind me, you might notice, is me. I made a cameo. I was wearing this shirt another day while I was working, and I have the corner of 33rd Street and 31st Ave, which is over here, at the corner of Halsey's and Mom's. And I have a pug over here that I'm walking. I don't have a pug yet, but I want to in the future. So this is like manifesting right here. This piece is me manifesting a pug into my life, and I can't wait to have one because I've always adored them.
Awesome.
If you come this way, we're at Halsey's Tavern. We have a New York Yankees fan walking a dog over here. And I used pink and blue, but I inversed them on both sides. So this is a girl dog with a pink leash and blue dots on the cement. And then on this side, you have an inverse Dalmatian. And then you have Play-Doh, a family dog, which is my uncle's dog over here. And then the pink dots with the blue leash. Just to inverse both sides and connect them. And a female dog walker here wearing all pink.
That's great. Asaf, tell me, what do you hope that the reaction is, or what's the reaction been since you've been out here for 17, 18 days, and what do you hope the general reaction and effect is on the neighborhood?
Well, the reaction is I've been getting mixed reactions from people. Lots of cars have been honking. Some were frustrated that we blocked off a lane, but safety comes first. I'm working on the mural, and I wanted to make sure that I would be okay while I made it. But a lot of people have been giving me compliments and saying good things about the mural. And my reaction and hope for the neighborhood is that this just like expands with curbside canvas and other people just bringing their art and styles to Astoria. And also just like embracing more art in Astoria, because New York City is known for the art scene and the galleries, Chelsea, Tribeca, Lower East Side, but I want to bring more art to Astoria. It's where I live. I've been throughout Astoria my whole life. I'm a local and I love Astoria. It's a beautiful place, and I want to see more art in Astoria.